Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. How are you good people doing today? Shout out to the people already in the chat, Trisha and Reese Cup and Darryl. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey Roxanne. Y'all come on in and get comfortable. Y'all come on in and get comfortable. Y'all come on in and get comfortable. I'm gonna wait till a little bit more y'all get here. I'm gonna wait till a little bit more y'all get here. I am. I'm gonna wait for a little bit more of y'all to come up in this camp, and then we are gonna get started. I'm not gonna keep y'all long today, just long enough. Yeah. How are y'all doing this afternoon? I started to go live earlier, but you know, I had things to do, so I couldn't go live. Well, I could have, but I chose not to. Yes. Get on up in here. Get on up in here. One by one, they all come in. I see it and I love it. Oh no. Mm-mm. Oh, that's not good. Let's see who else came up in here. Lynn, hey Lynn, hey Monte, hey Moni, no love. Yo, I just read a message from Melissa. Y'all always see Melissa in the chat. Please, y'all keep her in your prayers. She is going through something right now, and I know how that can be. Cause hey y'all, now y'all can see me. Melissa M. Y'all know y'all always see her in the chat. She's going through something right now. Please, y'all keep her in your prayers. Um, I went through something similar, so I completely understand what's going on with her and how she feels right now. So y'all just keep Melissa in your prayers. She sent me a message to let me know that she'll be missing in action, and I totally get it, and I totally understand. But Melissa, we're praying for you and pray that everything works out for the best. Definitely, yes. Um, wow, that's a lot. But y'all, hey in Q's world, y'all. You see my shirt? You see my shirt saying? And you too can get one. Well, I didn't get this from our store. I got this from a different store, but we have one in McRae Kingz boutique. So if you want to get your petty as fuck shirt, feel free to go to McRae Kingz boutique and get you one. I had to wear this shirt today because I feel like I'm gonna be a little petty right now. So y'all, I don't know. Well, I know those of you who actually saw the live last night, Darryl Moore's live, where me and Trumel was on the panel along with Marcellus and a young lady named Monique. So, you know, the whole time the live was on, I was getting text messages left and right. And I was, if you pay attention to the live, you see that I started laughing at certain points. And I kind of tapped out in my mind on the interview because I just It was just things that just, because y'all know I grew up in church. So a lot of what was being said, I have already heard before. And a lot of what was being said was pissing me off. Now, had that been the McRae Kingz show, Joseph Brands, or Up Close and Personal, I probably would have said the things that I was thinking. But I don't like doing that on other people's platforms, even though I know Darryl would not have had a problem with it. I tend to keep that here because people that come watch me and Tremel know who Joseph is and know how Joseph goes and knows that Joseph's mouth can be a little reckless sometimes. And at the same time, I didn't, how can I say this? I didn't want to insult anyone. I don't think it would have been an insult, but it came across like I was being not necessarily argumentative, but I don't know. I'm trying to find the word in my head right now that I'm looking for. Um, it would have came across like, "Hey, uncle." It would have came across like, "Hey, Mookie." I don't know. I would have came. I didn't want to come across like I was angry or like I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but y'all know what I mean. If it was my channel, I would have just said what I wanted to say because here I don't care. I say what I want to say. As y'all see, I decided not to go blonde. But I, oh, last night was a lot. It was a lot. And we're going to address some of the things that I wanted to address last night here or Joseph Rants because I was getting text messages. Like after the live was over, someone texted me and said, now, when Tremel said three great minds and he corrected it and said four, and they texted me and said, no, Tremel is right, three, because Joseph, I can look at your face and tell you didn't say none of what you were thinking. And that's true. I didn't say none of what I here and there. I threw in a little bit. I sugarcoated it a little bit. Like I said, on other people's platform, I don't want to come across like Joseph because y'all know who I am. So the things I say here can't be misconstrued and can't be taken any other way, but that you know who I am because you watch us. To do it on somebody else's platform, I don't want to seem like I'm confrontational. That's the word I was looking for. So the first thing that I want to address is when Marcellus was asking her, did she have anybody to go to? Could she talk to anybody? And Marcellus acts like we grew up in this time, in this day and age. When we grew up, because she was 50 as well, I'm 50, Tremel is 53. Who were we going to go and tell we had feelings for the same sex? What, your pastor, so they could put you under the pulpit and pray for you every day? Your mother, your grandmother, so they could beat it out of you? Like, I didn't understand his line of questioning with that. Like, who was she supposed to tell? Like, you know, first of all, you just know that you're different. To say that when you're that young, you know that you're gay, you don't have a name for it. You just know that you're different. You just know that something in your mind is telling you you like boys or you like girls. And for you, that's normal. That's just what it is. That's what it's always been. It wasn't a conscious decision to sit there and say, well, today I think I'm going to like boys and I find boys very attractive. So I'm going to like boys instead of girls. Who does that? Especially as a black man. You already got one strike against you. You're a black man in America. Why would you want to be ridiculed? Why would you want to walk down a whole nother avenue that puts you in a whole nother section of life to be talked about, made fun of, laughed at? Like, that's the part I think people don't contemplate. Why would you want to be that? Why would you make a decision to say, I'm going to get ostracized, I'm going to get made fun of, I'm going to get called all kinds of names, but this is what I choose for my life? Who does that? Who does that? Like, who in their right mind does that? Now, so I was like, I wanted to jump in and just ask myself, who was she supposed to tell? Who was she supposed to go to the church so that they could pray it out of her and constantly surround her in prayer circles and like there's nobody to tell. There was nobody to tell. You just sat and dealt with it on your own. Nowadays, kids nowadays, they can go and tell somebody that can probably help them. They can tell a counselor, they can go to school, they can tell a teacher. Back in our day, there was nobody for us to tell because it wasn't like that. It wasn't that open and acceptable to be who you are. You would have been all kind of child. They probably could. Did you know that they used to have places they put gay people and lesbian people to like mentally get them out of it? First of all, you can go to jail back in the day for being gay or lesbian because it was against the law. Like, you know how many raids they pulled in gay clubs and the men got arrested just because they were in there laughing and joking and dancing and having a good time because they weren't supposed to be gay and they weren't supposed to be in that setting. So there's a lot of things y'all don't know that took place with gay people. So you thinking that people made a decision to be this way, it's just no. We made a decision to live in our truth because that's what we made a decision about. Am I going to be who I am and live in my truth and not care what people say, or am I going to hide who I am and become this fake, live this fake life so that people don't ridicule me and have an opinion about me? That's when we make a decision. But who we are, who we are born as, we don't make that decision. That decision was made for me at birth, period. And that was what she was making me mad with. When Marcellus was asking her, and it's not just her, so I don't want you to think I'm jumping on her. It's people that get saved. They don't ever want to tell you the truth. They don't ever want to. I could respect you more if you say to me, I was born gay and God changed me. I can respect that. But see, when you try to sit and tell a gay person, oh, I wasn't born that way, we already know you lying. We already know it's a lie. We tell that to straight people because they don't want to believe that you were born that way to begin with. But all the gay people you trying to convert over to Jesus, none of us believe you. None of us believe you because we all know we were born this way. Now, when we decided to act on what we felt is a whole nother story, but we all know we were born this way. Just because you had sex with a man or a woman don't make you bisexual. It just means you had sex with a man or a woman. Like me. I had sex with a woman, but that was because I just wanted to see what it was about. I was curious to see what it was about. Do I consider myself bisexual? No. I ain't had sex with a woman since I was 18 years old. I'm 50 years old. I don't consider myself bisexual at all. I just was curious. So the whole part about having 3 kids, you know how many lesbians and studs I know that have kids because they just wanted to have a kid, so they did what they had to do to get it. Hell, I know married lesbian couples and the studs had babies and she never had sex with a man. She was artificially inseminated. Hell, I know some lesbians that'll just make men come in a cup and put it up in them because they don't want to have sex with a man. I just Darryl hit it on the nail. For me, Darryl hit the nail on the head. When he said he feels like she was pressured into making this decision, and he said he felt like her situation around her made her want to make this change, I agree with everything Darryl said because I feel the same way. I feel the same way. I feel it was peer pressure. I feel it was everybody around you straight, your parents and stuff is into the church. They had a problem with you being a lesbian. Like you said, they had no choice but to accept it because that's who you were, and you were gonna be who you were at the time. So I get that, but at the same time, it's like, and I get that because there's people in my family. I had a cousin told me I was going through a phase. Well, it's a 50-year phase that ain't changed yet. This is the longest phase I've ever seen in my life. It's a phase. It'll change. It's a phase. Sweetie, it's not a phase. I am who I am, and it's always gonna be that way. And if you don't like it, then that's your problem. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm quite secure in who I am. And then, I'm sorry, y'all. And then it's just, I just like when I said, like, I'm like this, okay? And I've even heard of a preacher preaching and saying sometimes God will deliver you from something, but the spirit is still on you. But I'm like this, okay? Every gay man, every lesbian woman has told me they were delivered, still gay or lesbian. Now you say, what does that look like? Well, the men are not all that masculine and the women ain't all that feminine. And I'm like, well, at some point, if God have a problem with this, and He's using y'all to reach out to the gays and the lesbians, honey, at some point He gonna realize leaving His spirit on you ain't working. Cause see, I'm like this: God don't do nothing halfway. If He gonna do something, He gonna do it all the way. When you come to me and tell me that you've been delivered from being gay or lesbian, I should look at you and go, "You were gay, you were lesbian," and I should be in a state of shock, like, "You don't look gay, you don't look lesbian." And then you can pull out a picture and show me and say, "See, this is what I used to look like," and I go, "For real?" That's the person that's been delivered, not somebody sitting there and I'm looking at you the whole time going, "Girl, child," and you were man. Or you saying you delivered and people texting my phone left and right and go, "Well, she was delivered from honey, she's still a lesbian." And my phone was being texted by all my friends I told to watch the video. And they all like, "Child, she's still a lesbian." Shout out to, I have to say this, Roxanne, don't be jealous. Shout out to Elle Manning, because baby, Elle Manning was in them comments lighting it up. When I tell you Elle Manning was lighting it up, child, Elle Manning was serving the comments last night. Oh, she is funny. Oh, I can't. That I told her, "You my new best friend," because baby, she was serving the comments. I just that live last night was so many things. It was just so many things. It was just like I tapped out because I was like, there were so many things I wanted to say, but I didn't. Like I said, I didn't want to seem confrontational. Like all her answers had to be thought out. Like they asked me a Tremella question, we answered it right off the bat. Hers had to be well thought out because, well, I want to answer the right. The right way is the truth. The right way is the truth. It doesn't matter what the church people think. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. If you've been delivered and you say, "Yes, I was born a lesbian," what? What? No, you want to make it like you wasn't born a lesbian, because if you say you were born a lesbian, then that means that we're born that way. So you want to fit in with the straight people. See, you can't live in both worlds. Either you're going to tell your whole truth or don't tell none of it. Because see, when you tell it to the gays, I mean, we're not listening to that because we know you're lying. You were born a lesbian. You had a crush on your teacher in the sixth grade. Normal little girls don't have crush on women in sixth grade. Little girls that wasn't born lesbian don't have crushes on their female teachers in the sixth grade, but you did. That clearly states you were a lesbian. You were born a lesbian. And it's better to say I was born a lesbian and God delivered me than sit there and try to make gays believe, "Oh, I wasn't born a lesbian." But then, okay, then maybe that's why you delivered, because you just sat and, decided, "Well, I'm going to lick pussy for the next 35 years." And then woke up one day and decided, "Oh, I'm over licking pussy. I want to suck dick now." Look, where they do that at? Come on. And when you still sitting there looking like a whole dyke, and then when I said that, she diverted the attention to the piercings. Piercings aren't a problem. And see, again, that's how you know the church is manipulating her. The church wants you to get rid of your piercings. You having piercings to me shows me that you're comfortable in who you are. And like I said, if you come to me and say, "Do you know about Jesus?" and, "Well, God this and God that," and take away the whole part about you not being a lesbian anymore. Just try to win somebody to Jesus and let God work on them. And if God has a problem with them being gay, let Him deal with that with them on their own time. Don't you come along and tell me that you're delivered, and I'm looking at you like, girl, when we going to the club? Your piercings are not the problem. Your piercings are the problem for the church because they don't want you to have the piercings. The piercings have nothing to do with people listening to you because actually people will probably listen to you more because in their mind you don't feel like you're better than them. You're on the same level as them, and you could talk to them about Jesus. I've done it. I have talked to people about Jesus, and they was in shock. They was like, "How do you know so much about the Bible?" "Oh, my father's a minister." But I've never sat back and told somebody that they shouldn't be gay or it's a sin or whatever. Because guess what? If God feels like taking that away from them, He'll put it in their heart. He'll if that's the case, then let Him decide to let them feel some kind of way. Let Him make them feel convicted about it. Who are you to sit and tell somebody, you have a demon, you have a devil? Don't nobody want to hear that. That's where church people get it all fucked up. Y'all want to sit back and tell people what's wrong with them. That's none of your fucking business because you're not God, you're not Jesus. You don't even know what's wrong with them. You just assuming that God have a problem with these things. You can, y'all gonna gag if y'all get to heaven and Jesus is a hermaphrodite, honey. And that was the next thing, the hermaphrodite thing. Who are you to pick your child's sex? You turn a girl into a boy or a boy into a girl, and then they start developing breasts, and now they got a penis because you wanted a boy. Like, well, kids need to know, and I don't want my kid. You know what? And this is the last time I'm gonna say this about kids. Kids are only confused because you make them confused. Half the things you think kids are going to question you about, they don't even care. They see it and don't see it and move on. My cousin's daughter was asked, and I think Jasmine might have been 4, if 4, 3, 4, and my cousin called me, like she should have, because I'm her gay cousin. And she said, Jasmine was asked to be in the wedding. And Joe, I don't know what to say. I'm going to let her be in the wedding. I said, well, are you going to let her be in the wedding? Because I said, well, what's the problem? She was like, well, Joe, it's a gay wedding. I said, okay, are you going to let her be in the wedding? She said, yeah, I don't have a problem with her being in the wedding. But Joe, what do I tell her? I said, what do you mean, what do you tell her? She said, what do I tell her? I said, well, if she don't ask questions, why would you tell her anything? I said, if she see 2 men get married, and then you take her to another wedding and she see a man and a woman get married, in her mind, it's okay either way. I was like, but when you make it a problem and you try to sit there and offer up explanations for something that she didn't even question, then it makes her think that something's wrong with it because you're trying to explain away something that she didn't even care about. And my cousin was like, Joe, you're right. I said, if she asks questions, then give her the answers. I said, but kids don't normally act. I said, kids think whatever they see is normal. I was like, we are the ones that have a problem with what they're seeing. I said, half the things that we think kids are going to question us about, they don't question. Kids are innocent. It's when we turn around and go, don't look at that, then they're curious as to why they can't see it. Or, that's not right, right? That shouldn't be happening. Okay, well, now you got to explain to them why it's happening. Because you wanted to be really badass and say it shouldn't happen. So now you need to tell them why it's happening and why you feel it shouldn't happen. So then when you tell them why you feel it shouldn't happen, guess what you're doing? Making your child just as homophobic as you are, and so on, and so on, and so on. And that's how it goes on. Half the time, kids don't question half the shit they say. Do your kids ask you why you kissing your husband or your wife? I've never seen a little kid say, Mommy, why you kissing Daddy in the mouth? Y'all worried about that. Y'all worried about them seeing 2 kids kissing, but when you finish sucking your husband's dick and then kiss your kid in the mouth, you don't have a problem with that. I'm just confused. I'm confused at how people pick and choose what it is they want. I'm confused at how it just kills me of what is right and what is wrong. How you going to explain to your kids that each one of them got a different baby dad, and each one of them got a different daddy. You gonna tell them you was a hoe? But you worried about two men getting married. But right now you a whole hoe, and none of your kids got the same daddy. Daddy come over and they looking, well, can I go? No, that ain't your daddy. Well, where my daddy? Your daddy don't want to be bothered. Explain that. Explain that away. Y'all don't want to talk about that. See, these are the things that piss gay people off that y'all don't want to talk about. Y'all worried about us. Y'all worried about us. But y'all doing a whole bunch of bullshit that's fucking kids up. But you just worried about us and seeing us kiss on TV or still seeing little Nas naked that you can't even see. You can't even see no body parts. You just know he naked dancing around. Y'all mad at that. But you ain't mad at the fact that, and if it ain't you, your sister or your cousins got different baby daddies and how they explaining to their kids why they ain't got the same father. Your mama was a hoe. Oh, well, you know why y'all ain't got the same daddies? Because I was a hoe. I was a nasty little hoe and I was giving it around to everybody. Hell, you, Pookie, I don't even know who your daddy was because I was with like 3 people at the same time. So I don't even know who your daddy is. You two, I know who your daddy is. They just don't want to be bothered because they don't like me. Like, y'all don't explain that. I don't see y'all offering up explanations for that and talk about how God don't love you for that. And God, because God got a problem with that. Because some of y'all kids gonna grow up to marry each other and got the same dad. That's a little incestuous. But some of y'all don't even know who your baby daddies are. But I don't see y'all explaining that. I don't see y'all worried about that. I don't see y'all in church talking about that. But, you know, y'all want to talk about the gays all the time. Being gay is the problem. Even like she said last night, we're not going to talk about this because gays was on the table. But can we talk about the fact that you said you drank too much, you lied, clearly you was a hoe because you had 3 baby daddies? Can we talk about that? Well, because clearly God had to deliver you from all of that as well as being a lesbian. And I'm not jumping on her. It's that she's the one on the panel. And I'm not taking away from her either. I want her to understand, like, I want her to, if she's for real, and when I say if she's for real, because I just feel like she's still fighting with herself. I do. I feel like she's fighting with herself. And if she's for real, and if she's trying to win gay people over to God, I think it will be done much better without saying, I've been delivered, I've been changed. Just say, God loves you. God has something better for you. Try God. God, Jesus loves you no matter who you are. And leave that part for God to fix. Because you can't fix that. Leave that part for God to fix. Just like, quote unquote, he convicted you, he'll convict them if it's a problem. That's the part I don't get with Christians. If it becomes a problem for God, you ain't got to tell me what to get rid of and what to change. God will convict me of it, period. He ain't got to use you. He ain't got to use this one to come tell me, oh, well, you should take out your piercings because it's not very. No, that's the church. That's the people in the church that want to dictate how you look. That ain't had nothing to do with God. They ain't got nothing to do with God. Absolutely nothing. That's the church trying to control what you look like and use their typical mind control. Like today, I was watching this video, very well-known name in the church. And I'm watching him on his little live, and he sees somebody, and they said they sowed their seed, and he shall condole, yes, and God is going to lift all your burdens today because you sowed a seed, and everybody else sow a seed of $50, and you get the same prophecy. God is going to open up doors that really. So the only way God gonna open up doors for me is if I give you $50 today, bitch. But what if I want to give the other lady $7? Because the other lady out there was preaching, she said sow a seed of 7, 17, 27, 37, 47. This was in her live. So maybe I only have $7. So let me leave your channel because you want 50. And she said God gonna open doors for me for $7. So I'm gonna go over running her channel and give her $7 because if I give her 7, all the doors gonna be open and all the bricks are gonna be broken. But if I stay on your channel, I gotta give you 50 because you seem to be Jesus is a little more expensive over here than he is over here. Really? For real? So the only way you can get to Jesus is Jesus. You got to pay. Last time I checked, you ain't had to pay. Jesus paid the price. So why am I paying for him to work for me? I ain't even look at the comments yet, y'all, because I know y'all in the comments going crazy, but I ain't even look at the comments yet. But I'm just not understanding how Jesus only work if you paying the pastor. And he was just sitting there, oh Lord, Robert, oh yeah, boy, $50. If you sow a seed today, right now, of $50, my cash app is in the thing. God is gonna open every door. Bitch, what you trying to buy? Mercedes? You need to pay your light bills? Because if that's the case, I could get y'all, there go to TheMKingz cash app right here. Sow a seed of $50 today to the MKingz, and God, Rosh Hashanah, he's gonna open every door. Every door. I know because my father's a minister. Yes, he's gonna, and so is my brother. So I got the power. He's gonna open every door. Sow a seed of $50 today to the MK. Child bye. They so full of shit. Child bye. Only way God gonna work, open doors for you is to sow a seed. And like I said, you might as well go to the cheap lady. She only want to seed is 7. Any increment of $7, $7, 17, 27, 37, 47, 50, and it's all in her title. 27, 37, 40, 107. Anything with a 7 behind it. So if you got $7, Jesus will work for you better over there than he will on the $50 one. You see how stupid that sounds? You see how stupid people are? How brainwashed they are? See, I would have never known about him, but somebody sent his link and I looked at it and he just happened to be doing that. I knew about her because I actually kind of like to listen to her preach. She's funny to me when she preach. She do give you a little word, I ain't gonna lie. She do give you a little word, but I know that she always says sow a seed of 7 and it's in the title. He talk about sow a seed of 50. I'm going to the cheap channel, honey. What, God gonna give me cheap blessings over there and more expensive blessings with you? Chill about. I can. I just can. Let me see what y'all saying in these comments, child. Hey, Ms. Lois. Hey, Terry. I just see that's what I want to be on NQ's shut the fuck up panel. Cause yeah, son, cause I'm gonna tell a bunch of me shut the fuck up with the bullshit. Right, Trisha. Kids were not born to be racist or homophobic. They get it from their parents. It's just what it is. They get it from their parents. Joe Mal. They get it from their parents. They get it from their parents. They always talking about gays here in Colorado, but they always looking for same-sex couples before sending it up. Right, Tyrone? Right, of course, because, you know, the straight people don't want the kids. They got rid of them. So they come to the gay people and, oh, we have a cute little kid. Would you like a child? But you have states that are trying to stop that too. They're trying to stop gay adoptions. They're trying to stop gay and lesbian adoptions. And I'm like, why would you do that? A child can have a loving home. And if the straight people are not trying to adopt them, because most of them can actually have kids, it's very, you know, there's a few people that have to adopt because they can't have kids, but the majority of people can have their own children, so they're not adopting these children. Why would you stop gay and lesbian people who want to give them a loving home and want to be parents? Why would you stop them from adopting children? Because you're stupid, because you're dumb, because Billy doesn't mind having 2 daddies. He'd rather have 2 daddies than no daddies. And Susie would rather have 2 mommies than no mommies. But y'all don't see it that way. Y'all too worried about what's going to happen. First of all, we know how to tell our kids to handle themselves, because you fail to realize we were those kids, meaning we were gay and we had to go through life being gay. So if you think I can't tell a child how to go through life, that me and Tremel or their daddies, because to me, I ain't gonna lie, tell them to mind their fucking business. Say it just like that. Say, my daddy said, mind your fucking business. And they could be 7 years old. And when the teacher, he said, and he said what I told him to say, because it's nobody's fucking business. You say it just like daddy told you, mind your fucking business. Just like that. Let him tell, and let the teacher call me. And I'm going to say, he ain't do nothing wrong. She ain't do nothing wrong. They did exactly what I told them to do because it ain't their fucking business. You got a problem with it? Come see me, bitch. Period. I ain't worried about stuff like that. Fuck these people. Fuck what they think. Fuck what they say. I've come too long in my life to be worried about what people got to say about me at 50 years old. I worried all my life from a child up until I was 18 when I say fuck them. And in Q's word, shut the fuck up. When I was 18, that's what I said. Shut the fuck up. You're not going to make me feel less than no more. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. If you can't see all my greatness and me as a person, something wrong with you. I'm a good person. I'm a good friend. If the only thing that defines me with you is my sexuality, you're the one with the problem, not me. Because I'm not sitting back worried about what you do. See, that's the part I want to understand. And maybe somebody in the chat. And I'm using Q's because I know she's married. And Roxanne, because I know they're married. I'm going to use both of them. Do you honestly think I sit back and worry about what Roxanne and her husband is doing in the bed, or what in Q's world and her husband is doing in the bed when they go to bed at night? You honestly think I give a fuck? No, because it's not my business. It's just none of my business. So what kills me is, why are people concerned about what's going on in my bed? Because I'm not doing it on my front lawn. I'm not doing it in my backyard, where if you see it, you can then have an opinion about it. I'm doing it in my bedroom, in the comfort of my own home. So why is that any of your business, and why does that create a problem for you when I don't get it? Like, I just don't get it. Because that's the only part of me. I guarantee you, if you did it, and somebody said to me yesterday, and it makes sense, I promise you, if you did a video of me and Q's husband and Roxanne's husband just waking up in the morning, going to the bathroom, brushing our teeth, taking a shower, getting dressed, and going to work, what are you going to see that's different? What are you going to see that's different? That's the point I be trying to make when I say, what's this lifestyle? What are you going to see that's different? What are the two of them going to do different than me? Make me understand. What the three of us got out of the bed, went to the bathroom, took a shower, got dressed, and went to work. What did we do different? What did Joseph do different that warrants he has a lifestyle and they just living life? That's why I get mad when people say a lifestyle. Because what do I do different than a straight man? I go to dinner, I hang out with my friends, I laugh and joke with my friends. Where's this lifestyle? I feel like I'm missing something. If there's a lifestyle, I want to be a part of it. Like, I'm missing something. That's why I get mad when people say a lifestyle, because a lifestyle is a way of living, something that you're doing. And I'm like, well, what am I doing different than straight men, other than who I sleep with, who I go to bed with at night? That's the only difference between me and them. Like, I stand up to pee. I don't sit down to pee. So I hope they don't sit down to pee unless they got a medical condition that requires them to sit down to pee. But I mean, I'm confused at this lifestyle that I'm living that's different from them, other than they married women and I married a man. And if that warrants a lifestyle, then make it make sense to me. Because then you never hear people say, I'm living a heterosexual lifestyle. Never. But it's always a homosexual or lesbian lifestyle. But what is this? What? Make it make sense. I'm confused. And I don't get confused often, but I'm confused that where this lifestyle comes into play. That's why me and Trinell get mad when people say a lifestyle, because it's like, what is the lifestyle? What are we doing different than people? I, child, I don't know. I'm confused. I mean, I, I know there's gay men in this chat right now. They own a house. They have children. They live their lives like two men. Only difference is they're married to each other. So what's this lifestyle that they're living? I'm confused. I am. I'm confused. Hey, Queen Berry. Oh, Miss Joyce, we're not even going to get into the questions that people ask us because that's even when me and Jamel got married, we got so tired of people asking us who's the man and who's the woman. And I even had somebody go as far as to, oh, well, you must be the woman because you changed your last name. Now, educated person like Darryl, when he said, can I ask y'all a question? How did y'all decide about the last name thing? That's an educated question. That's somebody who wants to know an answer, not just, oh, well, you changed your last name, so you're a woman. No. So you know Joseph did, right? You know Joseph likes shock value. I went in my phone, and you know me and Tremont sent each other pictures. So I showed her the first picture. I said, do a woman have that? She's, oh my God. I went through my phone again. I said, does a woman have this? Oh my God, why would you show me that? To show you that neither one of us is a woman. Because unless you have one of those, honey, and that means that you're not a woman, you're a man. You want to play with me, bitch? We can play. We can definitely play. I got something for your ass. Because I'm not going to keep telling you neither one of us is a motherfucking woman. No, but see, Darryl, when you ask that question, that's somebody who you asked me the question the right way. You didn't say, well, oh, well, whoever changed their last name is the woman. It had nothing to do with that. Then when people ask me, how did we come to changing the last name, and I tell them, then it's like, oh, yeah, because it don't mean one of us is a woman. It just means, do you know gay people can get married? And if me and Tremel had, if we could have combined our last names, we both could have changed our last name to make it whatever we wanted. We was trying to like combine our last names, but there was no way to combine McRae and Glover unless you put McGlover. And I was like, oh no, honey, that sounds something like McDonald's would serve, honey. Would you like to have a McGlover today? No, that wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to happen. And Tremel had no problem with taking my last name. But due to the relationship that I have with my father, I didn't want him to have my father's last name. And he has a relationship with his father. So I said, I have no problem with taking your last name. Hence why I changed my name. We were even going to hyphenate it. And we were going to hyphenate it so that it was the same. So like it would have been the same. I think it's dumb when that's just my opinion. So don't go saying Joseph said it's stupid if you do this. It's just my opinion. I think it's dumb when people hyphenate their last name and then they would have been calling him Mr. Glover and calling me Mr. McRae. That like defeats the whole purpose of being married to me. To me. But I just, you know, I wear dresses in public. I'm like, duh. Miss Lois, let me tell you, it is, and like I would get mad, and Tremel would always tell me, "Don't get mad. People are ignorant," and it's just something that, like somebody asked me the other day, they saw The first show we was on with Darryl, and they text me, and they was like, "Do you ever get tired of teaching people shit they should know?" And my response was, when they really want to learn, I don't have a problem with it. But when you come to, like, I guess, insult me or try to make it seem like what I'm doing is wrong, then I have a problem with it and I don't want to talk to you. But when I know somebody really genuinely wants to know something, I don't have a problem because I don't feel those people are ignorant. I feel those people are trying to get an understanding of what's going on around them and get a better understanding of what things are, as opposed to somebody coming to me asking me who's the man and who's the woman, and I got to stand there explaining to you that neither one of us is a woman. That's ignorant. That's stupid. And you're trying to insult me, and you're trying to people do that. It's like with fat people. Do you really think you want to eat that? Yes, bitch, they want to eat it. If they didn't want to eat it, they wouldn't be sitting in front of it. People think if they insult you, it'll stop you from doing what it is that you do. That don't work. That don't work. Or they figure if they insult you, it'll make you feel some kind of way or feel bad about yourself or shame you or humiliate you. It makes you look like an ass, not me. I'm secure in who I am. And when people realize that, they'll stop their bullshit. When they realize that, they see, I know what the problem is. They run across gay and lesbian people who may just be coming out, who ain't really secure in who they are. So they make these little snide comments and shit, and the person feel bad. But see, when you run across a lesbian or a gay man that's secure in who they are and they light your ass up, then they want to, but you didn't have to say that. And you don't have to be so mean. And, bitch, fuck you. You didn't have to say what you said either. But now that I turned the joke around on you, bitch, now you want to sit there and cry. Now you want to say, oh, you see, all gay black men have a chip on their shoulder. You know why all black gay men have a chip on their shoulder? Because you bitches always trying us, and we ready. And until you show me different, then I'll release, I'll come down, come from behind the brick wall. But as long as I don't know you, bitch, the chip is right here, and I'm waiting for you to say the wrong thing so I can light your ass up. Because and we have to be that way. Because before we would, gay black men wasn't always like that. We were nice, we were smiling because we wanted to be accepted, and we wanted to, we were trying to be nice so people wouldn't try us. But everywhere we went, somebody had something to say. Somebody had something to say, and then your worst nightmare is when we get around other gays and we learn how to read and we learn how to be quick with it and we learn how to look you up and down in 5 seconds or less and pick out everything wrong with you. Because, child, I can meet you in 5 seconds. I can tell you every string, every piece of material that's out of place in your outfit in 5 seconds or less. Because when you try me, it's on and popping. And my mother even said that to me. She said, before you started going around, she said, I can't say before you were gay, but before you started going around and hanging out, you used to be so nice and sweet, and now you're mean. I said, Mom, because people always try me. People always got something to say. People just can't never leave me alone and mind their business. So if either I'm going to let people talk about me and make me feel less than, or I'm going to answer back and sock it to them. And 9 times out of 10, once you sock it to them, they ain't got nothing to say. They don't know what to say no more. Or you're mean, or you're that angry black gay man, or you're whatever. Okay, well, guess what? Guess what you won't do no more? You won't try me then. You do better pushing a push pop than pushing me because I'm going to like you. Oh, I can't. Right. Right. They don't ask heterosexual people how they have sex, but you want to ask 2 lesbians how do they have sex. Like, come on. Use your imagination. Maybe they want to get in the bed with y'all. Because that's what I ask. You want to be part of it? You want to be a part of it? You want me to show you? Because I've had men do that to me. Well, what do y'all do when you have sex? Would you like me to show you? Because I'll be more than willing. Then they don't know what to say. Now it's, I don't believe you said that to me. I'm a man. Okay, well, if you're such a man, why are you worried about what I'm doing with another man? Ask yourself that question. Because see, me offering to show you what I do with a man, that's not out of the ordinary for me. But you wanting to know what I'm doing with a man is completely out of the ordinary because you're supposed to be straight. Like when Tramel did that video this week, why are straight men so consumed with what gay men do in the bedroom? You should be worried about pussy, but you worried about dick. It just don't make me laugh. Some things you need to make sense to me. Because I'm not sitting around worried about who they screwing. I'm not worried about the women they dealing with. I could care less. I could care less. I mean, you could ask. See, that's what need to be happening. You need to be asking some straight women, do you strap on and fuck your husband in the ass? Because you'd be surprised at how many women do that. You'd be surprised at how many women come and tell gay men things that they do to their boyfriends and their husbands and they like it. You'd be surprised. Because the women get a little concerned. Because I've had plenty of women come. I had one girl come to me and say, what does it mean if my boyfriend likes fingers in his butt? I say he means he likes his butt played with. You know, I wasn't gonna say nothing extra because I'll be trusting people and you're gonna say Joseph said. She says, she did just like this. She said, well, what if I can get all of them in like this? I said, honey, that means that bitch is a professional bitch. I can't even lie about that. He's a professional, and trust me, a woman didn't do that to him. A man did. And she was like, for real? I said, girl, you almost had your fist in that man's ass. I said, hell, gay people, a lot of gay men don't even like that. And you talk about talking about more and more. Girl, and you really asking me that? You'd be surprised what women ask gay men. You'd be surprised. And these are straight men that they're dealing with. And you know what? At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with it. Because most men, if they knew where their G spot really was, y'all would be playing up in men's assholes all day long. And that's just the truth. But you know, some men figure it out and find out, or they experiment on themselves when they find out where their G spot is, and they see the pleasure behind it. They don't want to be with a man. They don't even have no desire to be with a man. But when they tell women start feeling like, well, he's gay. No, he knows what his. Why is it that a woman can tell a man what she wants for pleasure, but when a man tells her what he derives pleasure from, it becomes a problem? It becomes he's gay. It becomes, oh my God, what is he talking about? I'm not doing that. I had a girl that felt it was odd because her boyfriend liked his nipples sucked. I said, bitch, do you like your nipples sucked? She was like, yeah. I said, well, men get the same feeling, girl. I said, we don't probably have as many sensory glands on our nipples like y'all do, but trust me, it feels amazing. And she was like, for real? I said, that don't mean he's gay. It just means that this man knows his body, honey. I'm sure he plays with himself, girl. And in exploration, he found out that that's what he likes. Why is it a man always gay when they explore their bodies and they know what the pleasure is? Maybe that's why you can't keep him home, because you scared to experiment with this man when he's telling you what he likes. And then he goes to some random bitch and she's doing what he said because it ain't her husband, it ain't her man, so she just doing whatever he wants. I'm just saying. Stop making men gay because they know what they derive pleasure from. Every man that knows his body, that doesn't mean he's gay. It just means that he knows what brings him pleasure. When you tell a man what you want to bring you pleasure, he don't look at you and go, oh, you're a lesbian. So why would you look at him and say he's gay? Why? That never made sense. I mean, some things, yeah, you know, I can see how some things may turn you away. But if you have an open conversation with this man, for example, and I'm just pulling this out of my head. For example, this man tells you, well, I want you to get a strap on and I want you to do to me what I do to you. Of course you're gonna be taken back. Like, the hell? You want me to what? I get it. But at the same token, that opens a doorway for you to find out all the things you want to find out. Anything that you might have been curious about or that he just put in your head, he opened up the door. And you'd be like, oh, okay. Well, have you ever been with a trans woman? No, I ain't never did that. Okay. Then you ain't got to worry about that. Well, why do you want me to do this? Well, because I just think it would be hot, and I think it's just whatever he comes up with as an excuse. And you never thought about being with a trans woman? Because I mean, technically, nah, I ain't that way. I want you to do it. Okay. And at that point, you had the door open to ask anything you wanted to ask. Because he just opened up to you in a whole way. Now, you have a choice. Either you going to stay married to him or keep him as a boyfriend, or you going to just assume he's gay and leave and be like, I can't, there's too much for me to handle. I got to go. But he's telling you what brings him pleasure or what he thinks. He might not have even done it. He just, in his mind, saw it in the movie. And was like, ooh, that's hot. Because they put it in straight movies. They do. I've seen it in straight movies where women strap on, go to work on the man, teach him a lesson. Bitch, this is what you do to me, I'm going to do it to you. I can't take away from people that ain't a lot of men that like that. But there are some that do. And what are you going to do if you his wife and he comes to you and tells you this is what he likes? You going to get a divorce? You going to tell him no? You going to do it? What? First, I'm going to need to know how you know you like this and why we exploring this part of your life. That's why I say all questions are open at that point. You can't just say that and not answer questions behind. But I think, I don't know. I just don't know. I just, see, Moni, you know what I'm talking about. Moni, no love, know what I'm talking about. Because I'm telling y'all, you would be surprised if a man is comfortable with you as a woman and he feels that you a woman that got his back and y'all doing whatever. I'm telling you, when a man trusts you to tell you what really gives him pleasure, that don't mean he's gay. It just means he's a man that knows his body. And I wish, I tell that to my female friends all the time. Because they'll come to me and they'll, Joseph, what can I do? And should I do this? And should I do that? I said, girl, child, one man would tell her, I see you spoke to Joe today. Because every time she did something new, he would be like, I see you spoke to Joe today. I said, but did I lie? Didn't he do what I said he was going to do? She was like, yeah. I said, because that's what brings men pleasure. I was like, y'all so concentrated on just thinking that all he want to do is lick it and stick it. I said, that's not the case. Men want to be pleased just like you want to be pleased. I said, it ain't always about them coming. I said, y'all just make it a lick it and stick it thing. So that's what they do. I said, but a man's body is just as sensitive as yours. You just gotta know what to do and where to touch. Ain't nothing off limits, child. You touch him and lick him in the right way, honey. Trust and believe. He's gonna let you. Especially if you do what I tell you to do, because he ain't gonna even know it feels good there till I tell you what to do. And she would do it, And one day I called him, he picked up the phone. He said, I just want to say thank you. I said, for what? He said, because you are improving my sex life. I said, you're welcome. Because y'all don't know. And I don't fault women for that because they don't know. A lot of women just get in that mindset. He just want to lick it and stick it. You want to suck my titties, lick it and stick it. And that's it. And it's more to a man than just that. And a lot of men know that. And they want more than that, but a lot of them are scared to tell you that because they don't know what your reaction is going to be. They don't. And it's just Ramoni said, teach the people. But it's true. It's like, it's, child, trust me. It's a lot of things. And it ain't even playing up in his ass. It's just a lot of parts of a man's body that you can touch that will send him into, just like when they touch you. And, a man can caress you down the middle of your back and send shivers and chills, and you be like, oh shit. You can do the same thing to a man. And he gets the same reaction, but just in a different way. Women aren't the only ones that have sensory organs all over their body. Men do too. So that's why when you ask gay men why is sex so good, because we know. I know what makes me feel good. And Tremella's a man, honey. Yeah, back in the day, honey, when we was young, yeah. See, now we old, so we gotta be careful because we might break something. But back in the day, honey, I would put it on my husband. Woo, yes, Lord. Because I know, like, it is what it is. Tremel was a little rough, though. Tremel was a little rough. Anytime you bite my nipple off and it's only hanging on by the left and the right side, that's a little rough. And I got to wear a band-aid till it attached back to my body. That's a little extra, honey. That's a little extra. We don't do stuff like that, honey. I don't even let him near these nipples no more. It only took one and done, honey. One and done. Go bite my damn nipple off. Because I got nipples like a woman, honey. They big. No, bro. Don't be doing that. No. But yeah, child, y'all better start talking to your man and see what he like. Half of them, and some of them don't even know what they like, child, because they so used to one, But I can't lie. I have to tell the truth. Right? Most men know what they like, because when y'all ain't around, don't believe the hype. When y'all ain't around, they get to know themselves quite often, probably more than once a day, even if you have sex. Some of them still. When you go to bed, when you knocked out after that, they'll still get to know themselves afterwards. Don't believe the hype. When they say, I don't do that, yeah, you do. You do. And I guess, see, that's another thing. Gay men ain't scared to talk about sex. We not scared to talk about sex. We not scared to talk about what brings us pleasure. And straight men don't do that because it's always about the woman. They always make it about the woman. Oh, I did this to her and I did that to her. But then when you talk to a woman, she got a whole different story. Oh, that nigga was whack. I've sat on conversations where men have told me one thing and then here come the girlfriend and she's telling me a whole different thing. That nigga whack. Yeah, I laid there. He thought he was doing something. I said, ooh, it wasn't shit. But, I try to make him feel good. And I'm sitting there going, but he think, yeah, I let him think what he want to think because, And I'm like, okay, I hope, yeah. If that works for y'all, if that's what y'all want to do. But I don't understand how people get together and don't have conversations. If you're going to have sex with somebody, they need to know what pleases you. I mean, some things could be scary. Because trust me, I've met some men that told me some shit, and I was like, "Oh no, we can't. I ain't doing all of that." But at the same time, at least I know so that I don't get wrapped up into this person and then all of a sudden I find out these extras and I'm like, oh no, bitch, I'm not doing that. Oh no, that's not gonna happen. I just think people need to be honest with each other and tell each other what brings them pleasure. Especially if you're gonna marry somebody or you plan on being with somebody for the long haul, they need to know. That's why people cheat because men cheat because they just either think they want more or the grass is greener on the other side. Women cheat more because they ain't mentally being mentally stimulated. They just need more. And you nowadays, child, you got some hoes out here. They just like the men. They just want to get all that they can before it's too late. Sad to say, but it's true. But I don't know, y'all. I don't know that just it's just a lot. It's just a whole lot. It's a whole lot. And last night it was a lot. Like I said, I tapped out because I didn't want to seem confrontational. I didn't want to tell nobody. Like, really, I wanted to grab the mic and say, you're lying. It's a lie. You ain't, it's a lie. But I'm not going to tell nobody that. Child, if you tell me that you believe the world is flat, then I'm not going to tell you it's round. You believe what you want to believe, and it's all good. Just don't try to convince me that the world is flat because I know better. And I just have my own opinions about that. Like I said, I know there's a whole church. I want to say it's in California. I want to say it's a church in California where everybody in the congregation are reformed gays and lesbians. But when you look at them, they all still look gay and lesbian. So I'm like, well, where's this deliverance? Like, can one of you like not look like you just came from the club and came to church? Like, I'm confused. Like, I don't get it. So like my church is an all affirming church. So when Tramel got up and said, "This is my husband," and we just been married for a year, and they started applauding us and saying, "Congratulations, child," I thought I was in the Twilight Zone. When he said it, because you know Tramel always, he just got to be a part of everything. He stood up and said, "Yes, my name is Tramel McRae, and this is my second time here, and I really enjoy your church. I'm here with my husband, Joseph McRae. We've been married for 1 year. We're newlyweds," and they started clapping and applauding and tapping me on the shoulder, saying congratulations. And I'm looking around going, I have died and ended up in the Twilight Zone, child. I was waiting, honey, for Rod Sterling to say, "You have reached the Twilight Zone." Child, I was like, "Oh, this can't be true." I just then on New Year's Eve, we went for New Year's Eve, and you know how churches do the countdown. And Tramel grabbed me and gave me a kiss, and the women that were married gave their wives a kiss, and I'm sitting there going, "I'm in the Twilight Zone." I never thought this would be possible in church. And you come on a Sunday, you won't. And I'm not. It's just the pastor is amazing. Tramel's mom went and was shouting in the aisles. They had to calm her down. So my sister went, and my sister was like, "Joe, I have never experienced church like this. I really want to come back." And then the pandemic happened, so she wasn't able to go back. But I'm like, God kept asking Trace, "You have to come to church with me one day. You're not going to believe it." And she was like, "Okay, I'll come." And because she was like, anybody that got Joe to come to church, this got to be a different type of church. They got to be, it's something in here that's making him come here. And I'm glad he go, because you couldn't pay me to step foot in the church. I ain't even going to lie. And when we got invited and we went, I was like, Tramel, that church was really different the first time. Like, as soon as you come in, people are welcoming you. Welcome. We know it's your first time. Please enjoy, sit down, have a good time. Because Jesus loves you. Da, da, da. And I'm sitting there like, okay, this is different. And then we joined the church, and it's amazing. That's all I can say. It is amazing when you can go to church and be you and not be ridiculed and still hear a message of love and God and people still speaking tongues, people still passing out, people still, and I'm not saying that that's church, but I'm just giving you an idea of it's the same thing without the judgment. And it's just like you got straight people, gay people, everybody's there, black people, white people, old people, young people. And I'm like, wow, this is how church is supposed to be. This is exactly what church is supposed to be, not what I grew up in. This right here is church. If this was church, I probably might have would have followed in my father's footsteps. I probably might have went to church all the time and been a part of church all my life because this is church, not what I grew up in, being Pentecostal. No, ain't nobody telling you how to dress. Ain't no child. One of the deacon's wives, child. I lived because her heels was this high and her skirts was this. She put on a dress, child, and I'm looking at her like, girl, that's a t-shirt. But it was over. She owns a dress shop, and it was over for her. It was over. That woman was, she was a model. So, well, she is the model, and she dresses like one. And I'm just like, it's just amazing to see people come as they are. And there's no nothing. And then every first Sunday, we used to go to the minister of music's house, and everybody would cook, and we would all fellowship at her house at the church. Like it was just, oh my God, it was just amazing. Like that's all I can say is that it was amazing. It was amazing to actually finally go to church and enjoy what was being said, enjoy the people around me. We would get out of church, and I was so busy when church normally out to church be over, I'm out. Tremel standing there talking to everybody. I'm like, you know what? Let me just sit my ass down right here and wait for my husband to make his rounds. And that's what I did. I sat right there, and sometimes people would come to me and talk. And the second time we went, after Tremel stood up, the guy in front of us turned around and he was like, y'all are the McRae Kingz. And we looked at each other and looked at him and said, yeah. He said, oh my God. I texted my husband and said, send me a screenshot of the guys that you watch. He said, because I'm not going to lie, I watch y'all every now and then, but my husband watches y'all all the time. And he is so mad that y'all are here and he had to work today. Please tell me y'all are coming back because my husband really wants to meet you guys. And we was like, yeah. And of course, me and Tremel gassed up. Because see, when we was on Facebook, it was so many local people that watched us that we would go places and they would know exactly who we were. You see the person I'm talking about in the chats all the time, AW, Antoine. Antoine watched me and Tremel. We met him in church. Him and his husband, Nelson. Amazing people. And it just is what it is. And that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be this garbage that, you go to church and you feel like, oh my God, I'm going to hell. Oh my God, why am I sitting here? Oh my God, I can't wait for this to be over. I'm never coming back. Like, they make you feel like you don't ever want to be there again. And I think for me, I think that, like Darryl said, she was pressured into this by her family. She was pressured into it by church. And I think that she didn't say it, but she probably led a difficult life. She probably led a life that was not so great because you can listen to what she said. Like, and that was another thing that bothered my spirit. How can you say you raised your kids wrong? How can you say because you were a lesbian you raised your kids wrong? Like, that was just so messed up to me. Just because a person is gay or lesbian doesn't mean they raise their children the wrong way. It just means unless you got your kids out there robbing people and selling drugs and like, how do you raise, like, that bothered me to my core. If you really was trying to raise your kids right, then you did the best thing that you could do as a mother. Period. It don't matter if you're a lesbian, straight. It doesn't matter. Your sexuality has nothing to do with the way you raised your kids. Well, I personally, I think she was trying to say because she had women around her kids and they knew that she was a lesbian. So, but that has nothing to do with how you raised your kids. Well, I brought certain spirits around them. Okay, well, your kids are going to go places and do things with a bunch of people. And if everything is a spirit, then they're surrounded by spirits all the time. It's up to them to make the right choices in their life after a certain point. As kids, as children, but after a certain age, kids are on their own. You can only do but so much. And after that, it's up to your kids to take what you taught them and apply it to their life. Period. And though I didn't believe in everything that your church taught me, I still kept that in me when I was out there doing my thing and I was out there doing everything that I wasn't supposed to do because church told me not to do it, and I was hell bent on doing it just because they told me I couldn't do it. And I felt bad for her when she said that. I'm like, God, this church really brainwashed you into thinking that you raised your kids wrong because you was a lesbian. Who says that? Like, I don't know no mother that would say that I raised my, unless you was a crackhead and you just, unless you was a drug addict, and even women that are drug addicts don't say they raised their kids wrong. They be like, well, I wasn't there for my kids and my mom raised my kids and da 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 da. Like, who says that? I felt bad for her when she said that. Like, my spirit really felt bad for her when she said, "Oh yeah, I raised my kids wrong." I'm like, what? Because you were a lesbian and you sat there and believed this bullshit that the church is telling you that you raised your kids wrong. And please don't tell me it's not the church, it's God. God ain't never said nothing about that. He ain't never said nothing about that. Then when I want to bring up the love story in First and Second Samuel, the little gay love story, everybody wanted to bypass that because they knew I was telling the truth. Everybody wanted to bypass and didn't want to talk about First and Second Samuel because they know I was telling the truth. That there's a whole gay love story in the Bible. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about David and Jonathan. I think that was who it was. That was their name. Hugging and kissing, and one of them telling the other one, "Your love is better than that of a woman." Then somebody in the chat trying to make it like, "Oh, men can't have friends." Yeah, men can have friends, honey, but I don't know no man that's gonna look at another man and say his love is better than that of a woman, unless he a man like me, and he really don't feel that a woman can love him the way a man can. I never said men couldn't be friends, but that's how the church people always try to spin shit and make it like, you said this. I didn't say that. What I said was what the Bible said. He said his love was better than that of a woman. What straight man gonna say another man's love is better than that of a woman? I don't know two best friends that's gonna say that his love is better than that of a woman. Because technically a man ain't never gonna think another man's love is better than that of a woman unless he gay. They were lovers. And I forgot the word they used, but there's a word they used in that whole scripture when he said he touched him and he it didn't say it the way I'm about to say it, but I want to say it said he got erect or something like that. He well, basically the Hebrew word for what I'm about to say is something different, but it basically said he touched him and he got hard. Well, honey, what got hard? His kneecap? His elbow? What got hard? A man touch another man and he get hard? Sis, that don't sound straight to me. And even if they were straight at that moment in time, they were having homosexual tendencies. I don't know no straight man that I can touch and make him hard. That I'm saying his love is better than that of a woman, and we kissing and hugging and sleeping together. Because all of that's in First and Second Samuel. But y'all want to make it like it was a brotherly love. Honey, I wouldn't be laid up with my brother naked. Because they always want to, there's a whole gay love story. Then they want to, and I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Either we going to live in the Old Testament or we going to live in the New Testament. We either going to live by the law or we're going to live by mercy and grace. And that's another thing that Marcellus be killing me with. He be letting them get away with that. Either we gonna do away with the Old Testament when God was cursing people and cursing their kids and cursing their kids and that. See, all of that went away when Jesus came. When Jesus came, he gave everybody mercy and grace. But before that, God was fierce, honey. He would serve you up and serve up your kids and your kids' kids and their kids and their kids' kids and the neighbors around the corner because you pissed him off. But when Jesus came, all of that stopped. And Marcellus don't never tell them you're going to either pick a side. You can't live in both. If you're going to live in Leviticus, then I hope you don't eat seafood boils. And the mere fact that you said the word Leviticus, please don't have on no kind of polyester blend, no kind of blended shit. You better have on 100% cotton and 100% denim when you say it. And your panties better not be a polyester blend either, because you could be kidding. Don't eat no seafood, which most of you Christians like having seafood boils, honey. As soon as you get your little checks or your little food stamps, you want to buy seafood. You ain't supposed to be eating shrimp. You ain't supposed to be eating lobster. And damn sure ain't supposed to be eating pig. But y'all put a pork chop in your mouth in the barbecue real quick. A piece of rib and a piece of ham on Christmas. But y'all want to live in Leviticus when it comes to the gays, honey. Y'all love going back to Leviticus when it comes to the gays. And then half of y'all that got something to say about gay people fat as fuck. So let's talk about the 7 deadly sins. Gluttony is one of them. Anything you do in excess is a sin, and your fat ass is going to the same hell that you put me in, bitch. Because you're fat, and you're overly fat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about you women that wear excess makeup, honey. Because see, a little bit of makeup ain't gonna send you to hell. But when you do it in excess, anything done in excess is a sin. According to the Bible, according to Leviticus. So, I'm gonna say that one more time. We either gonna live by the law or we gonna live by mercy and grace. We can't do both. Because when Jesus came, the law was null and void. Null and void. When Jesus came, it became mercy and grace. And I'd rather have mercy and grace. I don't want to live by the law. Because like I said, God was serving you up back then before Jesus. He was getting you, your kids' kids, their kids, the kids, the neighbor around the corner, and their neighbors around the corner from them, just because they was in your vicinity, bitch, and he felt like it. So pick a side. See, I be trying to tell people, I'm a child evangelist, honey. My daddy's a preacher. See, when you come at me with the Bible, you better come correct. Hell, I sit here and say stuff, and my Uncle Fred called me and go, I didn't know you knew that. My family see my lives when I'm talking about God, and they get impressed. They be like, you know all of that? I'm like, yeah, just because I ain't running around here like y'all preaching all the damn time to people. I save it for when it's necessary. When it's necessary and I need to get a word to people. And let's see, my thing is this. I like what I'm doing right now shows gay people that yes, you can love God, you can know about God, but I can still be myself. And if God decides one day to change me and say, you know what, put it in my heart, you and Jamel need to get a divorce and y'all need to just be friends and this is what it is, then so be it. But right now, that ain't my story. But my story is that I love God. I know there is a God, and no, I don't believe everything that Bible says because to me, it's like playing a game of telephone. I tell you something, you tell it to somebody, they tell it to somebody, and it's going to get lost in translation. I didn't get a chance to ask her what I wanted to on a live and tell her, you know, King James is a whole homosexual. You know that King James is a gay man, but y'all reading the gay man's Bible. Did you know that King James is not buried with his wife? He's buried with his lover. Did you know that maybe King James threw in those 3 little verses about being gay because he wanted to take away from the fact that he was gay? So people would think that he wasn't gay and put it in his little King James version of the Bible. Did you stop to think about that? But then he's buried with his whole lover. They don't know that. You can Google that and find that out. You read the gay man's Bible. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, check it out. If you find it, you find it on YouTube, find it in Google. King James was gay, and he's said to be buried with his lover. He's not buried with his wife. He's buried with his male lover, and according to sources, he's had quite a few gay lovers before he died. But you want me to believe the word of a man who was gay and had a wife? And there's only 3 passages about being gay in the Bible, in his Bible, in the King James version. Right. Okay. Nowhere where Jesus said it, but man said it was an abomination. Not Jesus, not God. No. They never said it. Man said it. Address that part. Because you want to tell me that God would never let the Bible be printed if it wasn't true. Really? Let me ask you a question. Why does he allow people to kill people? Why does he allow murder? Why does he allow horrible things to happen to people? But he won't let a Bible be misprinted to say what they wanted to say in certain verses and passages. The whole Bible a lie? I'm not going to say that. But it's odd to me how you can find dinosaur bones. Now, you know, Christians say dinosaurs didn't exist. But they can find dinosaur bones. But they ain't found Noah's Ark. They ain't found the Garden of Eden. They ain't found not one thing that's in the Bible. But they found dinosaur bones. So, you know, I'm just saying. See, these are all things I questioned as a child. And they would tell me, you don't question God because they didn't have an answer to give me. You don't question God. If God says it is so, it's so. God, Jesus is the Word, and the Word is Jesus. Okay, what the hell does that mean? I'm 8. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Make it make sense to an 8-year-old. It just means you don't question God. You don't question God. If God says it's so, but God didn't say it was so, you said it was so. Where did God say, show me? Let me tell y'all. They used to hate me because I was a little kid, and even as an adult, Tramel can tell you, I'm a why person. If it don't make sense to me, why? I want to know why. I'm always going to say why, until it makes sense to me. And if it don't make sense to me, then there's nothing you can say to convince me that what you're telling me is true. I've always been that way as a kid. And nobody could ever answer my questions for the Bible. Never. Never ever. It's always because God said so. Well, where did he say so? Show me. Well, I don't have time right now. Just know that he said it, and as you need to do what he said. Really? Well, where is it? Show me. I want to read it. They never do. They never can. They never will. That's why when on the first live, when Let Me See a Transcript came up, and she said, there's 3 passages in the Bible. They were right. God and Jesus never said it. Man said it. See, I like people like that. Because if we were wrong, she would have came up there and said, well, Joseph, Jesus said this and this, that. And she would have, if I would have said, where is it? She would have been able to say, go to Malachi 3:16 or go to John 7:42. But don't tell me, oh, well, that's just because that's what God said. Because that means you don't know what you're talking about. And you just want me to believe what you want me to believe because you want me to believe it. And I don't operate that way. Hey, Antoine, I was just talking about you. Hey, Cole. Hey, Deshonda. Who did I meet? Hey, Budget. Did I miss anybody else? Thank you, Mookie, for telling them to hit the like button. Antoine, you always late. He was late to church too. I was telling him how I met you and Nelson in church. I was just talking about you when you popped in the live. But yes, y'all, that's just my take because I know some of y'all wanted to know what I was really thinking last night, and that's what I was really thinking. I was. That's what I was really thinking. And like I said, I didn't want to come across as being confrontational or making it seem like I didn't want to call her a liar or nothing like that or make it seem like that. But there's just a lot of things that I really hope she finds her peace. I really do. I really hope she finds her peace, whether that be being delivered or being who she was born to be. Whatever is her peace and whatever makes her happy, I hope she finds it. She seems to be like a very nice person. She really does seem like a nice person. She just seems like one of the people that just became saved and they're really overzealous about Jesus right now. So most people when they get saved and they just get saved, it's like, oh my God, I found something new and I want to tell you about it. And it's amazing what I found. And I mean, can't be mad at that. You know, y'all get a discount at a store. You want to tell everybody, girl, I went and got me a pair of shoes and I got a pair free. You better go there because they giving away free shoes. You find something good you want to tell people. I ain't mad at it. I just think right now she needs to tell it in a different way. I think it'll be received better if she says it in a different way. I think people won't judge her as quickly if she does it in a different way. Um, because at the end of the day, I think her heart is in the right place. I really do. I think her heart is in the right place. I just think that I don't know. I just think she's overzealous right now because she's, I found a peace that I never found before, and I wish she understood that she can still have that peace in being herself and being who she is. And yes, if God delivered you from drugs and alcohol and all of that other good stuff, that's amazing, and I am all for that. But I still think that you can be who you are and love God and love Jesus. And at the end of the day, God knows your heart. And if I'm wrong, and if I wasn't born this way and it's some quote unquote demon, well, then at some point, God can't hold it on me or he'll take it away from me. Because if that's not the case, then that means he knew I was born to die and go to hell. That's the way I see it. But he gives us free will. So that's a whole nother story, child. We ain't even gonna get into that right now. We're not predestination and all of that. We ain't gonna get into that right now. Because we'll be here with tomorrow if I give you my thoughts on that, child. We're not gonna do that today. But as y'all see, I decided not to go blonde. I shaved and cut my hair, and you know that's what I was felt like giving right now. Yes, Trisha dropped the link if you want to become part of the McRae Kingz Kingdom. If you don't see the join button, it's because you're on an Apple product, an iPhone, or iPad. She put the link where you can join and become a knight at the round table. Also, she put in the link for the Teespring account where you can get your Petty AF shirt there because we have one. The one I have on didn't come from there. I'm not gonna lie and say it was ours. It just didn't come from there. And you know, you can do that. And y'all, please make sure you follow us on all social media outlets: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Of course, right here on YouTube. And our name is the same across everything. The McRae Kingz, and that's Kingz with a Z. Another thing, I don't know how many of you content creators today got a cash app for $15 because somebody was hungry. I don't know who that is, honey, but I can tell you this, child. If I ain't never seen you in my chat and you just automatically want to go to my cash app and say save you $15 because you hungry, bitch, I'm sorry, you gonna stay hungry, bitch, because I don't know who you are. So you know that Cash App did not get sent. And I'm sure you did it for everybody on YouTube, all us content creators, to see which ones of us was going to send you $15. Because we don't know who you are. So you still a little hungry unless somebody else fell for that and sent you $15. Because I ain't giving money to nobody that I don't know. It just ain't going to happen. So, and I'm saying it so that people know. Because I'm sure we weren't the only ones you hit up and did that. I have a sibling. I have a sibling in the LGBTQ community. I've spent time with the family. I would never judge her because of who she chooses to love. I love my sister dearly, and she is much happier now. Right, right, Deshonda. That's the see. That's the part I try to get people to understand. When it comes to siblings and family, you and I have to say it. I'm saying you because that's your sister, but you have to protect your sister. Meaning, why would you sit there and do to her the same things people in the street are going to do to her? You become an advocate for her. Like, people are going to come to you and have conversations. Like, it happens with my sister. People come to her and they don't know her brother's gay. And they'll start saying some off the wall shit about gay men. And they'll be like, what do you think? And she's like, I don't think nothing because my brother's gay. Then all of a sudden, they don't know what to say. Now they know they just messed up because you just said all these things. And you said it about her brother. Because even though it wasn't me they were talking about, they were still talking about her, about me. And kind of low key, you're going to have to get used to that. You're going to have to get used to people coming to you saying things and you not reacting because now in your mind they're talking about your sister. And it's like you should, and that's why I try to tell people that you are their refuge. Their home. That's why I don't understand when people make it hard for them and put them out and don't. My home, my family is my refuge. My family should fight for me. My family should be there for me. When people in the street are making fun of me and calling me names, my family should be the ones that protect me and stop people from doing that. Not sit there and incite them. Well, guess what? If you wasn't this way, they wouldn't be talking about you. What is that? What is that? You helping the people in the street treat me like shit. And you're supposed to be my sister or my brother or my mother or my father. You can't do that. You just can't do that. You have to the same way that you will protect, and I'm not saying, but the same way you protect your sister if somebody calls her a hoe is the same way you protect your sister if somebody calls her a lesbian. The same way. And if you see that she's happy and she's living her best life, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, your sister wants the same thing for you. She wants you to find somebody and be happy and live your best life. And people don't understand that. People, they just don't understand that. Like, I even had to make my mother understand that. Like, when my mother was still alive, when gay marriage became legal, and I said, would you come to my wedding if I married a man? Why would I do something like that? I said, why wouldn't you do something like that? I said, so you rather me be single all my life and hoeing around and miserable other than finding a man that I could spend the rest of my life with and be happy so you wouldn't share my happiness? And she had to think about that for a minute. And she said, you know what? Now that you said it that way, you're absolutely right. I would come to your wedding because you deserve to be happy. Because sometimes you got to check people because they don't realize what they're saying at the time. They just know, I ain't for this shit. But then when you break it down to them, they be like, well, I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'd rather you be happy than right. So let's not play these games, woman. Oh, child, sometimes I just, oh, child, it's just, it's whatever it is, child. But anyway, y'all, yeah, follow us on all social media outlets. Check out the McRae Kingz Boutique. If you want to help support the McRae Kingz platform, the Cash App is right there. And yeah, check out our website. Make sure if you didn't see the live last night, can one of y'all drop the link for Darryl's live from last night in the chat? If you didn't see the live from last night, please go check out Darryl Moore or his other channel, Darrylisms, and check out the live from last night. You will then know what I'm talking about and understand. If you didn't see it and you don't understand what I'm talking about right now, go check out that live and this whole video will make sense to you then. Y'all, but on that note, I'm going to get out of here. I have not eaten all day. Something is wrong with my car, so I need to go and see what that is. I think I need back brakes because when I step on the brake, it sounds like something is under the car and I'm dragging it and nothing is hanging under my car. So I think I need back brakes. Don't know how to pay for them, but I need them. And I need to check that out. I need to get myself something to eat because I ain't going to pass out, but I feel like I'm going to pass out because I'm hungry. Y'all, please remember to always walk in love, peace, sunshine, and happiness. Thank you for spending your afternoon, some maybe part of your afternoon with me. I appreciate it. You know me and Trina always appreciate you guys when you come and watch us because without you, we have no YouTube channel. And we love you guys. And please make it the best day ever. Always dare to be different. Why would you want to be the same? And you know what I'm going to say? I say it all the time. He says it all the time. And you probably can say it with me from heart now. Because you know what it is. It's Team McRae all damn day. Lady up.